Let's now take a look at the India-Maldives historic ties and how exactly ancient and diplomatically that has been a very pivotal point for both the nations to come and also strengthen that relationship. Now let's take a very close look on that. We have the ancient ties of both the nation, the island nation with India. What are their people-to-people ties that we often continue to boast over? India and Maldives share the centuries-old ties through the Indian Ocean trade routes and the Buddhist cultural exchanges from the 3rd century BSE to the 12th century CE. In fact, the Asian ties that we often talk about as the communities connect over that, focus on that. And now, in fact, if we move forward with the diplomatic relations, apart from that, the significance of the ties, why does it play a very crucial role, even with Maldives and for the Indian side as well? The former diplomatic relations began in the year 1965 of both the nations, with India quickly recognizing Maldives' independence from Britain. And in the year 1965, that moment defined the era of the starting of the relationship of diplomatic nature between India and Maldives. And then 1988 coup aid with that India's hand in the time of crisis did come. India's rapid military intervention with Operation Cactus thwarted a coup attempted in Maldives, strengthened its role as a key security partner. That is where India has started proving its worth as a very key nation that helps in the time of a crisis. And then defense cooperation comes. Since the year of the 2000s, in the lastly 2 decades largely, India has bolstered Maldives Coast Guard with patrol vessels, radar systems, and also the defense mechanisms and training to secure the Indian Ocean, where the oceans and its maritime security is spoken over. India has definitely in the large manner has been able to also secure the maritime security operations with Maldives. Then we speak about in the latest times the 2018 to 2022 Soli's realignment, where President Soli restored the close ties with India funding major projects in Maldives like the Greater Malay Connectivity Project, and that remains very pivotal as India looks forward to enhance the ties and invest at a larger capacity. Then happened the new era of President Muizzu, where Muizzu's friction did take place from 2023 till this time. President Muizzu's India Out campaign demanded troop withdrawal, but India continued to support via the debt relief and infrastructure. And that is how, in fact, India did not even retaliate when the attempts were also seen from coming from Maldives. And that is where we see the strategic diplomatic defense partnership of both the nation bolstering, given the kind of affairs that India has shared with Maldives. Joining me live on the telecast, viewers, on this very subject is my guest, international affairs expert Arvind Tejawat. Appreciate you joining me this morning, sir, as you know, this crucial visit comes at a time when India retains its ancient, historic, diplomatic and also defense partnership with Maldives. How do you see the way forward for both the nations to continue their strategic relationship in the years to come?
Here, actually, we need to be very clear that the China's deep state is playing a major role to fund the political parties in these countries like Maldives and Sri Lanka. And in other hand, we need to be clear that the Maldives is a bit dependent on Sri Lanka also. So in that particular reason, the China's deep state playing a major role. So by funding, so that's why the few years back when the Muizzu was contesting in elections, so his voices was not in favor to India, and they given a slogan that the India out. It worked, and since actually because of course we have a good tie from the ancient age, we are culturally close to each other, and we can really play a major role, and we can develop together. But in other hand, there are some differences also, like the differences religion-wise, Dravidian culture versus the mixture of Dravidian and Aryan culture, And we northern people, the northern part of India is totally Aryan culture. So different customs and all things. So when the diplomats speak about a good relations, then of course they mention the strategic and good relations from the ancient and the medieval age. But in reality, the scenario is different, and in the present scenario. Now, what India need to do? The first upon the Indian diaspora is there also, and the Indian diplomats are in a great pressure because they are suffering from the shortage of the staff people, and at other hand, the Indian university are not providing a good research to go for a good tie between two nations. So India needs to work on that. The Maldives has a strategic importance for India because if the China and the United States will come in that particular region, then in a long term, India's security, there is a security threat for India long term when the India will have a kind of, in case, kind of combat with China, then the situation might be difficult. But it's not only about the Maldives. There is a Diego Garcia also, where the United States is also having a presence. So to for the strategically and for the long term external security, the India needs to maintain a good relationship with Sri Lanka and Maldives. So that's the thing. Otherwise, I suppose since Maldives is a very small country, so in terms of trade and in other benefits, so India is hardly getting few benefits. Of course, the people who are running the project over there, so they have their own interest. So that's a different thing. But for the long-term security, we need to maintain a good relations with the Maldives. And since the India is spending a much amount on a defense, so that's why the India must use their the defense expertise to protect that particular reasons. But it's not very much easy. We are bound with lots of international rules and regulations.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.